In this video, we're checking out some of the craziest things they've discovered in coal mines, right? This video is titled, "They Opened a Seal Mine and What They Found Inside Would Leave You Shocked." And while I was pulling this video up, man, and setting everything up, I was thinking, I've never in my life met, and I would like to meet someone who's worked in a coal mine. I just respect it because that's hard work. You know what I mean? I like super respect. I want to meet somebody who's worked in like a coal mine or something like that. I don't know. That's just something I thought about. But let's check this video out and see some of the things that they've discovered.
Coal has been used since the Bronze Age, and humanity has been extracting coal from our planet for thousands of years. With coal being the most abundant fossil fuel on Earth, its extraction is carried out worldwide. You would think that coal mines would be the last thing where strange artifacts would be discovered, but you'd be surprised by what miners found in these places. From a rare mineral to the world's oldest preserved brain, here are 20 impossible artifacts found in coal mines. Number 20. Mammoth Graveyard. In 2012, workers in the Drmno mine near Kostolac, a Serbian coal mine, made an astounding discovery: the remains of at least 5 woolly mammoths that had lain hidden for tens of thousands of years. The workers immediately contacted experts after realizing that rather than coal, they had discovered the remains of a prehistoric creature. Uncovering the ancient giants was no small task, and careful excavation and documentation took months. This is understandable given the size of these fossils. These fossils belong to giants that stood up to 13 feet tall at the shoulder. Aside from their size, these behemoths were covered in thick fur to withstand freezing temperatures in the region. The massive tusks on their fossils, some reaching over 10 feet in length, were impressive weapons and tools for foraging through snow in their harsh environment. While complete mammoth fossils have been found before, it's rare to see them all near a single area. Why did these giant creatures converge in this one spot? Well, researchers believe that the site could be a former watering hole. An event led to the remains of these creatures being trapped in the area. As the landscape changed over the years, their remains became fossilized. With this discovery, researchers were able to get a glimpse of what the region looked like in the Ice Age. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now. Number 19. Bizarre color-changing stones that might hint at an ancient civilization. In 2016, workers in a coal mine in Siberia discovered 10 spheres, each around 3 feet in diameter. These massive, perfectly round stone spheres, dubbed Jurassic pearls, were found lying close together 100 feet underground at the Sorolski coal mine. What's strange about these spheres is not only their shape, but also the fact that they have the mysterious ability to change color after rain, shifting from a dull gray to a rusty hue due to their iron oxide content. The presence of these strange spheres led to speculations and theories that an ancient civilization once resided near the Siberian coal mine. However, experts propose a different explanation. It's possible that these giant spheres, despite their perfect shape, are nothing but naturally occurring concretions, formed over millions of years as mineral-rich groundwater cemented layers of sediment around it.
I would like to think that too, honestly, but I can't help but be honest and say in the back of my mind, a part of me wants to say that we need to keep a camera on these at all times. Like, you just want to keep a camera on them all the time, bro. Because one day something could happen. They could light up, something crack, it opens, something's inside of it, and it's been sitting in front of our face the entire time, bro. Like, we need to keep a real watch on these.
The central core. Much like the process of pearl formation, it just so happened that these Siberian pearls clustered together deep beneath the Earth's surface, which might have been due to the perfect conditions deep within the coal mine. What's more, similar spheres have been discovered in other places in the world, from New Zealand to Utah. However, the sheer size and color-changing properties of the Siberian spheres make them quite different. A natural formation or remnants of a past ancient civilization? Well, I'll let you be the verdict. Number 18. Turtle the size of a car. Workers in Colombia's Cerrejón coal mines were stumped when they discovered a strange shell that looks similar to a turtle. The only difference is that this old shell is the size of a smart car. When paleontologists from North Carolina State University examined the find, they confirmed that the shell belonged to a colossal turtle, Carbonemys kafrini. These creatures once roamed prehistoric lakes of South America about 60 million years ago. Measuring nearly 6 feet long, with a skull the size of an NFL football, this massive creature is far from its relatives that we see today. Unlike giant sea turtles, this creature had powerful jaws that allowed it to prey on a wide variety of animals, including mollusks, fish, and even crocodiles. This turtle was part of a broader ecosystem that included other gargantuan species, like the Titanoboa, a 45-foot snake that slithered in the same waters. You see, during this period, the climate was warmer, there was plenty of food, and there was less competition. This meant that a lot of animals had the opportunity to grow. This resulted in widespread gigantism. Can you imagine how wildlife would change if these creatures survived? I don't know about you, but I'm not keen on seeing a turtle that treats crocodiles as a snack.
But at the same time, it gives a lot of insight as well. Like, you can't tell me that giants didn't walk the earth at some point in time. Look at the animals and the creatures back then. All of them were huge, even on down to the turtle. The turtles were huge. So if we roamed during those times, it's giving insight to me that we were huge as well. We were giants. Had to be, bro. Especially to compete and survive alongside these type of animals. But had to be, bro. It's just further confirming that to me.
Number 17. World's oldest preserved brain. In 1925, researchers discovered the fossilized remains of a 320 million year old fish in a Lancashire coal mine. Recently, we found that the remains of this prehistoric fish contained something we never imagined: the world's oldest preserved brain. The fossil, belonging to the now extinct species Cococephalus wildi, was discovered in Trawden, where it's been sitting in the archives of the Manchester Museum for nearly a century before modern technology uncovered its secrets. Using high-resolution CT scans, researchers were able to detect brain and cranial nerves within the fish's skull, preserved in stunning detail. This marks the earliest example of a fossilized brain in a vertebrate, predating previous discoveries by millions of years. The fish itself, an early ancestor of today's rayfin fish, was only about 6 to 8 inches long and likely a carnivore, preying on small crustaceans and aquatic insects. You see, soft tissues like brains rarely fossilize due to rapid decay after death. It's one of the first things that disappear when a being dies. Yet this particular fish's brain was preserved because it was buried quickly in low-oxygen sediments, creating the perfect environment for its soft tissue to mineralize over time. The chemical composition in this environment allowed the brain's delicate structure to be replaced by dense minerals, which have preserved it for millions of years. With this discovery, scientists hope to find older specimens in the future. Number 16. Rare earth minerals. Earlier this year, researchers discovered something that can make the United States a quote-unquote world leader. Neodymium and praseodymium are both found underground. While they might not sound familiar, these two materials are essential for today's technologies, from electric vehicles and wind turbines to military drones and other advanced electronics. These minerals are indispensable in everything from smartphones to hybrid cars, giving this enormous potential in various industries. Just imagine how groundbreaking it is to discover a large deposit of these minerals. What's more, only about 25% of the mine has been drilled, which means the total resource that can be procured in the mine might be far greater. This puts Wyoming on track to rival or even surpass China's dominance in rare earth minerals.
And see, this is why I think the space race is going on so strong at this point in this stage. Is because I think they're looking at it as, okay, our planet has these minerals, these specific type of minerals, and we have an abundance of them. But in the event that we run out, what other planet could potentially have these minerals that we need to keep moving, to keep advancing technology, keep moving our planet forward? So I think that's why the space race is like it is at this point, and they're going so hard, bro. Is because they want to get to these planets that have these minerals that they're looking for.
China currently supplies about 95% of the global market, as the United States currently imports 74% of its rare earth minerals from China. this discovery could reduce dependency and secure a domestic supply of these critical materials. Unfortunately, there's a catch, as procurement of these minerals is usually quite difficult and requires manpower and resources. Number 15. A wonder mineral. Metal organic frameworks were discovered in the 1990s. These minerals are created in laboratories, and they were considered a scientific breakthrough because they had the potential for use in hydrogen storage, solar energy, and even mopping up toxic gases from the air. Needless to say, these wonder materials were meant to advance science. And so imagine the surprise of scientists when they discovered materials similar to metal organic frameworks, or MOFs for short, in nature. It shows that anything humans can do, nature can do better. The natural MOF structures were identified in two rare minerals, stepanovite and jemchuzhnikovite, first discovered in a coal mine in Siberia decades ago, but only recently analyzed. These minerals were found embedded in lignite coal mine seams over 755 feet underground, and their structure closely mirrors that of the MOFs synthesized in labs since the 1990s. The fact that nature has been producing these complex, highly ordered materials for millions of years, long before scientists even conceived of them, shows just how brilliant nature is. This discovery is a game changer for materials science. It opens up the possibility that other naturally occurring MOF-like materials might exist and could be harnessed for industrial use. By exploring the properties of these minerals, researchers hope to expand applications in energy storage, environmental cleanup, and more. Number 14. Underground fire. Beneath the quiet village of Claravale near Newcastle, an underground fire has been burning since February 2015. Experts believe it originated in the former Claravale colliery and shows no sign of stopping. It was first discovered when smoke was spotted near Wrighton Golf Club. Efforts to extinguish it were immediate, but this subterranean blaze has continued to smolder despite efforts to monitor and manage it. The fire is suspected to be burning in spoil heaps, waste materials left from the mine's operations that were used to fill in old ponds at the site. Although it's not burning in a coal seam as initially feared, the exact composition of the material fueling the fire makes it incredibly difficult to extinguish. Firefighters and local authorities have expressed concerns that the fire could burn for years, similar to the infamous underground fires at Watergate Park in 1993, which lasted 2 years, or even longer cases like Centralia in the US that have been burning at depths of up to 300 feet. Scientists believe that the mine fire in Centralia might continue to burn for over 250 years. While nature truly is fascinating, it can also be merciless, as these scenarios show. Number 13. Monster millipede. Scared of creepy crawlies? This monster millipede just might be something straight out of your nightmares. This millipede is known as the Marty monster and was first discovered during a biodiversity survey of the old coal mine in 2016 by naturalist Liam Olds and millipede expert Christian Owen. Upon seeing this 4-centimeter-long brown-colored millipede, researchers thought it was a variant of an existing species. However, further analysis revealed that the Marty monster is a species entirely new to science, marking it as the first new millipede species found in Britain in over 30 years. It seems that these abandoned colliery sites, often overlooked, have become havens for rare species. The Marty monster, belonging to the Turtylosoma family, adds to the list of fascinating creatures discovered in these unique habitats.
I would imagine there'd be a lot more creatures in there that we haven't discovered, bro. They can live their lives uninterrupted. Humans aren't going in there. So they can prosper, they can grow, they can feed, they can do everything they want to do and not be bothered in those places, bro. I can imagine what we'll discover in there.
Who knows just what other creatures living in these places are overlooked? Number 12. Grave-dwelling mutant cockroach. If the monster millipede didn't scare you, then perhaps this mutant cockroach will. In the 1950s, a mutant strain of the American cockroach was discovered. This creature had distinctive white eyes and longer antennae. Moreover, this mutant was also far more aggressive than its common relatives, pushing around other insects it encountered. First found by pest controller Arnold Chabaris, this creature was first thought to be blind, relying entirely on its extended feelers to navigate around. Since its discovery, it's been spotted in places researchers never thought was possible, from a British coal mine and now in the wild. Yep, there's a chance for you to encounter this horrifying mutant cockroach while exploring the outside. Schaberus has collected several specimens and is breeding them for further scientific study, already producing over 100 cockroaches from just 2 females. But hey, no worries, because they won't be let out anytime soon. Hopefully. Number 11. Dinosaur fossils. In 2013, paleontologists discovered a new dinosaur species in an unlikely place, a century-old Spanish coal mine. This new species, now named Uropelta carbonensis, is part of the Nodosauridae family, known for their tank-like covering. The fossil has been hailed as the most complete nodosaurid fossil ever found in Europe. This species was an herbivore that stood about 3 feet tall and measured about 16 feet long, weighing approximately 2 tons. Much of this weight is thanks to its armor that gave it protection. This dinosaur's name, Uropelta, literally means Europe's shield from coal, and it gives a nod to the location where it was found, the coal-rich region of Arenio in northeastern Spain. Today, this species is believed to be the oldest nodosaurid ever found on the continent. Number 10. Giant prehistoric fish with circular saw-shaped teeth. Around 270 million years ago, the oceans were dominated by one of the most bizarre and fearsome predators, Helicoprion, a giant prehistoric fish with a spiral of saw-like teeth. Recently, researchers in Russia discovered fossils of these monstrous creatures in a coal mine in Russia. At up to 25 feet long, Helicoprion was the largest marine predator of its time. These creatures roamed Earth's oceans well before the dinosaurs during the Permian period, and were some of the top predators before their extinction around 225 million years ago. Despite their shark-like appearance, Helicoprion belonged to a family of cartilaginous fish called eugenodontoids, which had no true bones, making their fossils particularly rare. Well, this creature doesn't need to be cartilaginous just to be considered unique. Its appearance is already one of a kind. The discovery of its fossils finally shed light on this mysterious creature. The distinctive teeth of Helicoprion puzzled scientists for over a century, with early reconstructions even placing the teeth outside the jaw like an elephant's trunk. However, thanks to modern CT scans, researchers now know that the whorl was positioned deep in the lower jaw, allowing the fish to continually grow and replace its teeth throughout its life. Helicoprion, a creature that is undoubtedly far more terrifying than the sharks we see in today's oceans. Number 9. The Koso artifact. In 1961, workers near Olancha, California discovered a cylindrical object while prospecting for geodes. Instead of minerals, however, what they found was an out-of-place artifact, or an oopart. The 3 rockhounds were astonished when they saw the artifact. It wasn't like anything you'd see in a mine, which immediately led to a lot of theories. Some believed that the object, encased in what was thought to be a 500,000-year-old geode, challenged mainstream archaeology. Some also theorized that it's part of a civilization we've never heard of before. After all, how could a cylindrical object resembling a modern spark plug be enclosed in a geode that's 500,000 years old? Aliens? Time travelers? Well, it turns out that the truth is a bit anticlimactic. After several investigations, including X-rays and analyses, it was determined that the object inside the stone was actually a 1920s Champion spark plug. How did the spark plug get inside the geode? That's the new mystery. Despite this explanation,
I thought he was being funny when he mentioned spark plug the first time. They was actually serious. That's what it was. Now, how does that even happen, bro? And how far do spark plugs go back? Like, excuse my ignorance, but I didn't know they go back that far.
Many still believe that the Koso artifact is evidence of alien visitation or a piece left behind by a time traveler. Number 8. Alleged iron pot found in coal mine. In 1912, an employee at a municipal power plant in Oklahoma named Frank Kennard claimed that he discovered something bizarre inside a large lump of coal taken from the Wilburton coal mines. Instead of more coal, he discovered a man-made iron pot embedded in the coal lump that geologists estimate to be 300 million years old. How could that be? This pot is another oopart discovered in the United States. Strict creationists, including Carl Baugh, have used this as evidence of a young Earth, suggesting the artifact defies conventional geological timelines. If discovered to be true, this artifact would change what we know about Earth's geological timeline. Unfortunately, just like the Koso artifact, there's a lot of doubt regarding the origin of this artifact. You see, the only record of the discovery is a notarized letter from 1948, 36 years after the event, which weakens its credibility. After all, it's easy for the human mind to play tricks on us. Without proper documentation, it's possible for this artifact to just be another hoax. Cast iron technology itself only dates back to the 18th century, making it far more plausible that the pot is a modern object that just so happens to be encased in old lumps of coal. Even so, creationists continue to see this pot as proof that the timeline we know about Earth isn't what we think at all. Number 7. The mysterious ancient gold necklace found in a coal mine. In August 1870, while drilling an artesian well near Long Ridge, Illinois, a workman named Jacob W. Moffett made an unusual discovery at a depth of 114 feet, an object that some claim resembled a gold necklace. Just like the pot discovered by Frank Kennard, this gold necklace was embedded in coal. Strangely enough, it seems like an 8-carat jewelry made in modern times. This find has puzzled historians and sparked debate, as coal from this region dates back millions of years. Proponents of out-of-place artifacts suggest that this discovery could challenge conventional timelines of human history, while skeptics argue that it's more likely the result of natural processes or contamination during mining. Now there's an easy way to learn more about this object, right? Simply examining it in a laboratory should be enough to discover the truth behind it, its origin, and its age. Unfortunately, just like all the mysterious objects that we've discovered so far, this gold necklace disappeared before we could even study it. With its whereabouts unknown, we can only continue to speculate about the truth behind this alleged out-of-place artifact.
I laugh at the words they choose to use. Disappeared. No, fam. It was stolen. That's what it was, bro. Be honest with it. It was stolen. You know somebody came and saw that and yeah, they took it.
Number 6. 2 million-year-old relic or a hoax? You're looking at the Nampa figurine. This might look like a doll made by a child, but this artifact is believed to be one of the oldest human figures ever created. This figurine was discovered in 1889 by workers drilling near Nampa, Idaho. At a depth of 300 feet, it was impossible to miss this figurine, despite the fact that it was a mere 1.5 inches tall. This artifact resembling a human figure appeared in sediments that some believe date back to around 2 million years ago, far predating any known human activity in the region. And so proponents of the authenticity of the Nampa figurine claim that this discovery could potentially rewrite the history of human civilization in the Americas. The figurine's craftsmanship, some argue, suggests a sophisticated ancient culture that lived long before the accepted timelines for human migration into North America. But how certain are we that the Nampa figurine is real and not a man-made hoax? Not everyone is convinced. Some argue that there's a possibility that the figurine was dropped near the area where the workers were drilling, leading to the discovery of this alleged out-of-place artifact. What's more, many doubt that the fragile figurine would have survived the drilling process if it genuinely was procured from an ancient geological layer. Some even suggest that it was a hoax, citing similarities with local Native American artifacts from the 19th century. To this day, the Nampa figurine remains a mystery debated by scientists and historians. Any thoughts about this figurine? Do you think it's a real ancient artifact or just a modern-day hoax? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Number 5. Wolf's Egg Iron. This seemingly ordinary chunk of iron is one of the most perplexing artifacts ever discovered. Known as the Wolf's Egg Iron or the Salzburg Cube, this small cuboid mass of iron was discovered in tertiary lignite in Wolf's Egg am Hausrück, Austria in 1885. It weighs 785 grams and measures 67 by 67 by 47 millimeters. It has 4 flat sides with 2 convex ones and a distinctive groove encircling its middle. The Wolf's Egg Iron has puzzled researchers due to its out-of-place nature. Coal deposits where it was found are estimated to be about 20 to 60 million years old. Some initial theories suggest it was a meteorite, but this was dismissed.
That's what I was sitting here looking at it like, I don't know, bro. That looks like a meteor or something. It's giving a weird vibe to it. Like, just sitting here staring at it, man, this looked like something straight out of a movie where you would see it and they have it somewhere displayed, studying it every day. And then all of a sudden, one day, it hatches. It opens up and then it's a problem or... Yeah, that's what this gives off to me.
After analysis in 1966 by the Vienna Naturhistorisches Museum, researchers discovered that this stone doesn't have nickel and chromium, which removed the possibility that it's of meteoric origin. Later examinations proposed it might be a piece of cast iron, possibly used as ballast in mining equipment. But the fact that it was found encased in such ancient coal fuels ongoing debates. Some people have even linked this artifact to extraterrestrials or lost civilizations. However, scientists, of course, are leaning toward the theory that the Wolf's Egg iron is nothing but an out-of-place artifact. Despite extensive analysis, the Wolf's Egg iron remains an enigma, housed at the Heimathaus Museum in Vöcklabruck, Austria. Number 4. Strange spheres found in 3 billion-year-old rock. These small balls are known as Klerksdorp spheres. Dozens of them were discovered inside pyrophyllite deposits mined in South Africa, and they've been befuddling researchers ever since. These small, often spherical or disc-shaped stones, which are around 3 billion years old, became famous due to their seemingly artificial appearance. Some of the spheres have strange grooves etched into their surfaces, leading many to believe that these spheres are actually man-made rather than naturally occurring material. Some even claim that these spheres are actually extraterrestrial in origin. But what do scientists think? Geologists believe that the Klerksdorp spheres are natural concretions similar to the color-changing spheres discovered in Siberia. From its shape to the grooves, the Klerksdorp spheres are nothing but naturally occurring balls, at least according to researchers. What's more, these spheres are primarily composed of hematite and magnetite, materials commonly found in nature. Despite the outlandish theories, including claims that NASA examined the spheres and declared them impossibly precise, no credible evidence supports these ideas. Natural formation or alien ball, these spheres are fascinating no matter their origins. Number 3. 500 million-year-old pot. In 1851, workers blasting rock at Meeting House Hill in Dorchester, Massachusetts, uncovered a small, ornate metal vessel, later described as bell-shaped, with intricate floral designs inlaid with silver. This became known as the Dorchester pot, one of the strangest artifacts ever discovered. What's strange about this pot is that it's embedded in ancient Roxbury conglomerate rock, which is estimated to be over 500 million years old. This peculiar find has fueled numerous theories, especially among proponents of alternative history and ancient astronaut theories. Some claim the Dorchester pot could be evidence of advanced civilizations that existed far earlier than conventional archaeology suggests, while others believe it may have been left by extraterrestrials. Again, there are other theories regarding this pot's origin. Historians and scientists believe that the object is likely from the 19th century and that it might not have been embedded in ancient rock at all. Some suggest it was a Victorian-era candlestick or pipe holder, misattributed after the blast scattered debris. Once again, the truth behind this pot remains unknown. Number 2. Ancient rainforest. The last thing you'd expect in a coal mine is a rainforest, and yet that's exactly what researchers discovered in a coal mine in Illinois in 2007. This fossilized forest, stretching about 4 square miles, is the largest of its kind ever found. It was fascinating to see fossilized tree trunks, ferns, and other extinct plants embedded in the mine's ceiling. The most fascinating part about this discovery, however, is that this rainforest dates back to 300 million years ago. Yes, you heard that right. Somehow, this rainforest was preserved inside this coal mine. And
that's a good thing. I think we're going to have to learn about, ancient trees and different things like that and stuff through fossils in order to know, okay, maybe we need to bring this back in order to help our planet survive. With all these things they're saying with global warming and stuff, and things may die out, we may need things like this and discoveries like this to help the planet survive. So I think this is extremely, extremely important.
In fact, it was so well preserved that even researchers couldn't believe their eyes. The secret lies in a massive earthquake that shook the entire region millions of years ago. This caused the region to drop below sea level, leading to the whole of the rainforest being covered in mud, preserving everything in remarkable detail. Among the towering flora are club mosses, which reached heights of over 130 feet, alongside tree ferns and giant horsetails. Researchers can walk through the mine, looking up at what was once the forest floor. And now it's time for today's topic. They opened a sealed mine, and what they found inside would leave you shocked. When workers opened a sealed mine, they couldn't believe their eyes. What they found inside the cave were pots and jewelry that seemed way ahead of its time. Some believe that these artifacts were left behind by ancient people, but some believe that rather than ancient relics, these pots and jewelry were simply left behind by modern people, perhaps even by workers of the coal mine. However, it's certainly strange to think that one of these mine workers would seal their jewelry behind the mine and leave it there for decades. What made this discovery more perplexing was that the next day, the workers who stumbled upon the alleged artifacts disappeared along with the precious objects. This leaves the question about the object's authenticity unanswered. Yet another modern hoax? Or could this be a case of stolen artifacts? Well, until we find them again, we'll never know the truth. Number 1. 700,000-year-old archaeological site. In 2023, researchers discovered yet another unexpected find deep in an open coal mine in southern Greece, the oldest archaeological site in the country, one that dates back to 700,000 years ago. Deep in the ancient site, researchers discovered the remains of long-extinct species like giant deer, hippos, elephants, rhinoceros, and a macaque monkey. Aside from the remains of extinct creatures, researchers also discovered an array of stone tools that date back to the Lower Paleolithic era, one of the pivotal moments in Greece's ancient history. With these tools, the presence of human activity in the region was pushed back by over 250,000 years. The Megalopolis Basin, long known for its fossil deposits, provided the perfect conditions to preserve these artifacts. Now, if you're unfamiliar with early stone tools, you wouldn't be able to tell these stones apart from ordinary rocks. The tools that early humans used thousands of years ago were quite simple. Despite looking like ordinary sharp rocks, these pieces were used by early humans known as Homo antecessor, a species believed to be the last common ancestor of modern humans and their extinct Neanderthal cousins. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, Homo antecessor used these stones for butchering animals and processing wood and other plant matter. With this discovery, researchers in the nation had the opportunity to study human occupation and progress in the region. What do you think about these discoveries?